Welcome and welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Thanks for joining us for another video. In today's video, we're going to discuss Erik Ten Hag's summer transfer plans after that win against Chelsea, which seen us qualify for the next season's Champions League. He was discussing his summer transfer plans, and he did state, Erik Ten Hag, even though the squad have done well this season, he needs a better squad. He needs better players bringing in this summer. We're going to discuss it on today's video, and you get involved in the comments below. What did you take from his press conference that he did mention after that Chelsea win?
We want to be the best in the world. And to be honest with you, I think Erik Ten Hag and his staff, since the World Cup break, has been looking forward to this summer transfer. He has got a plan. He quite boldly said, I want better players. Well, that tells you what's going on inside the club. There are players who are surplus to requirements, and they know it. I just hope that they just carry on for the next game and then the cup final. But there is a plan, and it's all down to the money and the new owners, if there is new owners.
Before we get on to like transfer targets, reports that are out there linking us to certain players, was you a little bit surprised though he's come out with we need better players before the actual season's finished, because we've still got a massive game against City coming up? How would some of these players take him saying that?
I think these players already know, and they've known for a while. I think Erik Ten Hag's been talking to players' agents. They've been wanting clarity. The players need clarity. They've not just woken up and gone, oh, I'm surplus to requirements. Yeah. Not in this day and age. It doesn't work like that. I think players there have already earmarked what other potential clubs they can go to. There's some what won't have another club, but the club will try and get rid of him. No, I think this has been done in the right way. I look at Erik Ten Hag and the way he performs and that. He's straight to the point. He's not upset anyone. Everyone's been in harmony, and that's a good thing. Lots of players know they're leaving, and Erik Ten Hag has sort of smoothed it over. How he's done that, I don't know, because that just makes a nice change, because it's normally carnage this time of the year when it comes to transfers and players leaving.
Yeah, I seen Luke Shaw doing an interview a couple of days ago. I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen it as well. And he was talking about next season, about him, in his own mind, Manchester United to be competing for the Premier League and in the Champions League. And he was expecting as well, Luke Shaw, for players to be coming in this summer. So around the squad, around the actual club inside there's a confidence that we will be getting top-class players coming in this summer, despite what's going on in the background with the sale of the club.
Yeah, I think the way Luke Shaw's come out there, I'm not in harmony with everything what he said, but the way he's come out, it's common knowledge. Yeah. It seems that the players have an understanding of where they are in the pecking order, whether they're staying or whether they're going. But Luke Shaw coming out with talking about the Champions League again. I remember last year, the other year, talking about Champions League. He said we was going to win it, and I was shocked by it. So some of what Luke Shaw says is fine, but he's also letting you know that inside that squad is harmony, which is fantastic going forward.
Yeah, them comments about Luke Shaw, I remember that was before the Atletico Madrid game at home under Ralph Rangnick, and yeah, to say it left me speechless in them comments he come out with is an understatement. But moving on to these targets, look, listen, a lot of us out there, we're seeing the same reports, and they're getting stronger and stronger as I see it, especially links to Mason Mount, Declan Rice. Harry Kane's been there now for a number of weeks. But on Declan Rice, do you see that as a player that we can bring in the summer, looking like there's competition from Arsenal as well?
I think how you have to look at the transfer target is, are we bringing in better players? Yeah. And there's lots of players, like you say, out there, what are being mentioned and linked to Man United. And all I can see is players being linked to Man United who are better players. And there's going to be room for them. It's just a matter of, will the club support Ten Hag, right, in his recruitment? Is the money there? And it has to be done, or I fear for what's going to happen.
Yeah. On Declan Rice, I think we can all, or most of us, can agree with Casemiro being our number one choice in that midfield area. Declan Rice as well, similar type of player, similar type of position for West Ham and England. So with Declan Rice, would he be bringing him in alongside Casemiro, do you think?
I would expect that. I mean, you know, the money what's being talked about, Rice, 100 million and that, this isn't a fringe player. This is a player what's going straight into the team. And that's the type of quality Erik Ten Hag, I think, is going to bring. I can't see Ten Hag bringing in players to sit on the bench. He's a winner. He wants it. He talks about Man United. we want to be the best in the world. Well, his recruitment, he's going for it, and he's going for players what will start and improve. How long it takes, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, like we've seen against Chelsea, and we've seen throughout the season with Casemiro, he's not just that defensive midfielder.
No.
He can get forward, and when he gets forward, he's more than capable in creating goals for other people, or even taking it on himself and getting into positions to score goals. And for me, him and Declan Rice, I don't think it'd be too defensive in there.
No.
I think both of them can take the roles each other when one's defending, the other one's attacking, etc. And I think Declan Rice has got that in his locker as well, where we don't see it too much at West Ham in the style of play, and at England, where he can get forward and start creating things, because he's got a good range of passing, Declan Rice. He's got the lungs on him to get up and down on the pitch, and I think that would be a solid, and I mean a solid, midfield pair in that, and it'd give the front four a license to roam and create in attacks. But for me, if you're going up against Arsenal as well, because it is a lot of talk about Arsenal coming up against United with for Rice, I think Manchester United are more than capable in outbidding Arsenal. I know it's easy for me to say, yeah, well, all that ownership talk is going on, but I still think Manchester United is more of an attraction than Arsenal currently, and I think we've got the funds there, or the funds will be there, to outbid Arsenal. It's just a matter of, does Declan Rice want to come to Manchester United?
Well, anyone, in my opinion, would want to come to Manchester United, the biggest club in the world.
Same here.
Do you know what I mean? So, and the thing is, they are going to be the best in the world. That's what I believe. But hey, it might be fantasy. But going back on to Declan Rice and Casemiro, right? Okay, you see Casemiro coming up there. The goal he got against Chelsea, you've seen that time and time again this year. It's fantastic. Declan Rice can do that. You don't see that much of it with West Ham and England, because the way they set up and they go through the game, it's more of a defensive. Erik ten Hag will have him attacking. He'll use him more and more in the attacking. That's what Ten Hag uses all the players for. So what you're going to see is Erik ten Hag transform this squad with new players, hopefully with the likes of Declan Rice, and go on the front foot and be what we used to be as an attacking force. He wants to win every game, and he's going to bring in players to do that job. Long way to go.
Yeah.
But, as you know, and I'll go back to it again, it's all about the support, the money what comes in to give him that boost and to take him on that journey this summer. Lots of ifs in it.
Yeah, the two midfield pairing, whoever it is next season, as we've seen in some games this season, it's not always worked out in the majority of the games in recent weeks, but we're seeing either the left back or the right back joining in the two in the midfield, so then it releases one of them to get higher up with Bruno. And I think Declan Rice and Casemiro are more than capable to create up in the attack and be that attacking force we need going up there. But on stories with Mason Mount, how would you see Mason Mount coming into Manchester United? Would you see him alongside the Casemiro, or would you see him more up at the top where Bruno plays, out on the left, out on the right?
I'm not really sure, because I'm not really sure with Mason Mount the exact position. But what I've got to look at is, no matter what, he's got a manager what can work a player into another position. That's what he does.
Versatile, Mason Mount.
Yeah, he is versatile, but Erik ten Hag is versatile, and he improves players. And I expect Mason Mount to improve under the guidance of Ten Hag. That's what he will do. Quality players will listen to Erik ten Hag, and they can see what he's building. So big improvement from players what come from what we bring in. They will improve under the guidance of Ten Hag. That's what I like. I'm absolutely looking forward to this summer. And at the end of the day, I want 3 or 4 top players to come in.
Yeah.
And like I go back to it, the funds. Let's see what happens, and let's see what he brings in.
Listen, the standards in terms of transfer budget, it needs to be the same or more that we spent last summer.
Yes.
And the type of players that we brought in last summer, we need again, or if not more quality players. And, you know, there's also talk about Harry Kane coming to Manchester United. But if Harry Kane was to come to United, let's put the fee to one side of what we might pay for him. If he comes to Manchester United, would you expect Manchester United still to go out in the transfer market and get another striker? Or do you think even Ten Hag might turn around and say, well, Harry Kane's my number 1 striker, Martial, you're staying as the backup? Do you think that's possible?
No, I think you've got to look to keep improving, and I think that's what Erik ten Hag does. I don't think he'll be looking at one striker, and I personally don't believe one striker is good enough for Manchester United. If he wants to compete as one of the best teams in the world in the Champions League, we need 2 strikers. Ferguson, in his heyday, had 4 strikers. You need proper backup. It's a long season. I mean, look at Kane at Tottenham. He's not playing 65 games for Tottenham. At the end of the day, we want to be in every game. You need more than one top-class striker. And if he comes, Kane, there is no point Kane coming on his own. We need more players. He needs the help, the quality. Listen, we've had some bad games. We've had some really bad games this year.
It's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot more positive than negatives. But for me, something that I'll be keeping my eye on for next season for improvement is the away games against the top nine. This season, it's been really poor away from home. And that's something that all the players, the manager, the coaching staff need to improve on next season. If we do improve on that and we keep this good home form, Old Trafford's been a fortress this year. If we can keep that going into next year, we're only going to get more points. And it could see us challenging for a top spot. But as we know as Manchester United fans, we have got to keep our feet on the ground a little bit.
But you're not.
I never do. I'm always flying up high in the sky and you're trying to keep me down with that little bit of rope.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be like, on a level here, because I've listened to Ten Hag and he's got us at it. He's got us at it over the last 48 hours.
And you get a lot of people at it out there.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, I'm listening to Erik Ten Hag and everything seems to be positive. The sale of the club seems to be positive. That's drawing clearer. He wants to be the best and we know he wants to win every game, right? But he will also look at the poor quality in some of the games what we've had and they've been disappointing and he knows how to improve it. And that's what I like. Yeah. And that's why I'm positive for this summer going into next year. I absolutely believe we're going back on track to being one of the top teams in Europe. And it's glad to hear a manager and everyone around. And I do believe the players have bought into it because we've not heard any whinging from any of these players who know they're leaving.
No, I think with what you're saying there about players buying into it, we've seen players improve. Yes. And when you've seen players improve, that means, for me personally, that means that they're in and they bought into what he wants from the players going forward. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Before we do actually, do you still believe that the new owners will be announced within 72 hours of that FA Cup final?
Listen,
I think it's a good shout, me.
Yeah, well, that's what I said the other week. The Glazers, they'll be at Wembley. Well, only the owners of Manchester United will be at Wembley. Well, that means they're going to still be the owners. So I think within 72 hours of that FA Cup final, the new ownership and everything at Manchester United will change. At the end of the day, might not be new owners. It might be in new investment. We don't know yet, and nobody does. But I think it'll be after the FA Cup final.
Yeah, if any of you use my dad Tony's ideas and when the Glazers go, and you use it on Twitter, social media, just don't forget to tag us in as your source at Webby and O'Neill.
It's not a source, it's an opinion.
I know it is.
It's only opinion.
I was waiting for you to rise up now. You getting me at it flying up in the sky before? You just nearly lifted up off the ground then.
It's an opinion, not a rumour.
I know it's not. Listen, I think a lot of people know out there, we come in here just to have a chat about our football club. There's no board scripts or anything here. It's just off the cuff. And
look, the sun's out.
You know what I mean?
Right, the sun's out. We're relaxing. Right, don't get me at it. Listen, it's a good future I'm looking forward to. And Erik Ten Hag, to me, is the man.
He is the man. Baldy's best. Thanks for joining us today. Just thought I'd do you, a brief overview, a bit of a chat about some of the players that are being linked to Manchester United this summer. Obviously discussed Erik Ten Hag, some of his comments that he made after the Chelsea game. I'm not too sure where the video went today, but I've had a good chat.
Just our opinions, and we want your opinions, because the last 48 hours, I've been busy with rumours and speculation and everything. But with yesterday's game smashing Tottenham, smashing Chelsea, and Erik Ten Hag being free in what he's saying, I think it's good going forward to have an opinion, and let's hope you put in yours.
Yeah, love to hear your opinions, and I'm going to wrap it up there because I've carried on talking. I'll want to talk. Yeah, I'll want to talk again.
I'll walk off.
I hope not.
No, I will. I'll walk off.
I hope not. But yeah, if you've enjoyed...
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's no getting at me.
Smash a like on today's video, subscribe if you've not already done so, really helps the channel. Support out there is absolutely phenomenal since we've been doing this channel, much appreciated, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts. Press that notification because we'll be back on Saturday with a match preview going into the last game of the season against Fulham. So yeah, let us know all your opinions on today in the comments below. Enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, we'll see you again soon, hopefully. Thank you
very much.